Okay, well, here we're buying more jars. Um, we're going to be looking at, it doesn't matter if you're buying wide mouth or narrow mouth. We just keep running out of quart jars, so we're picking up more quart jars. Um, they have the different fancy ones and stuff like that. You really don't need the fancy jars at all. So we're just getting the stuff that just basically works. So I'm getting these plain mason jars right here. Yeah, the best thing about canning is you get this meat on sale that expires today or tomorrow, and you just go take it home and can it. Just yesterday we made a raw pack turkey, so today we obviously have a bunch of bones left over. So what do you do with a bunch of bones? Well, you can compost them, or better yet, make turkey broth out of them. So that's what we're gonna do. First of all, we set the oven for 425, and then we prepare the turkey. You want to use just a normal pan, one that you don't worry about ruining. Line it with aluminum foil. So just a quick lining. There we go. Now we grab the turkey. Well, in this case, the turkey bones. This is the turkey we deboned and did a raw pack with, and then cooked it down to grab the remaining meat off. And now all the rest of this we're gonna make a turkey broth out of. So we just put it on the plate, and then we spread it around. Get them all nice and even down. It's kind of froze together a little bit. So we just have to spread it around, make sure it stays on so it doesn't leak over in the oven. And now we're going to put this in the oven at 425 for around an hour and a half. Okay, we just got back from Walmart looking to see what we can do for canning. What we got here is we found these on sale, which is used today. Basically, we got stew meat for $6 a pound, which is really good for stew meat. And plus, it's already cut up, so these are literally just put them in the jar and can. We got really big discount, like $3.50 a pound on ground beef chuck, and 80/20. So we got this there. So 4 pounds of this, that's going to be like 4 jars. So we got 4 jars of beef for $3 a pound. Dinner tonight. Then the more of the stew beef. The stew meat was just a really good deal at the $5 a pound. So we picked up a lot of stew meat. These are going to be like that's going to be like 4 jars of stew meat. That's 4 meals. So we're gonna start jarring. Okay, we're getting home with the jars now. These are the jars we picked up. Just a side note, don't overpay for jars. There are so many people putting them online for outrageous prices. Each one of these are only like $14 at Walmart. That gives you 12 jars, lids, and rings. I mean, it's all about saving money and being prepared. So let's start preparing. Okay, that was our cat Bruce. Lovable cat. He just really afraid of the front door. Never goes out it. Tries to run out the back all the time. It's actually kind of funny. Anyways, what we're here today is basically talking about canning. We just picked up a new pack of 12 jars, which was literally less than $14. Don't overpay for jars. But what we're going to do now is normally I would put these in the sanitation cycle for the dishwasher for 3.5 hours, but we don't have 3.5 hours, so I'm going to manually sterilize these. So what comes in each of them is you have a jar, which is already pretty clean. We just like the extra sanitizing. It comes with a ring and comes with a ready-to-use lid. The way we're going to do this is basically I'm going to need like 6 jars for everything. So I'm going to have a pot of boiling water here. And I'm going to put them in, fill them up, make sure that they get nice and hot in the boiling water. Dump the water out, and I have a sterilized jar. That's it. The other great thing is don't throw away these boxes. These boxes are actually great. Besides having a lot of good information on the bottom, we actually really like ball jars, by the way, but that's just a preference for us. Has a lot of good information on the bottom. Plus, after you've canned, you can use these for tray. So when we have like pork, steak, roast, and all that stuff downstairs, we keep them in separate boxes with a label on the front of what it is, and put it on the shelf so we know where they're at. And as far as the recipe stuff and go like that, you only want to do proven ones. So the good place to go, and this is where we go all the time to make sure that everything is legit, is the National Center for Home Food Preservation, place in Georgia. They have everything listed, and it is tested, safe. If it's on that site, you can can it. So this is just me sterilizing all the jars again now that we got a good boil going. The food safety is like utmost important. You want to follow all the instructions for canning and everything, because the last thing you want to do is die from your own canning. Make sure you don't have any botulism or anything like that. So just sterilize everything and follow all the rules on canning. Do not make your own up. Like if there isn't a rule out there for canning it, don't can it. There's plenty of stuff out there to can. Okay, this is the turkey that did not seal yesterday, so we're going to reseal it today with the stuff we're doing today. You don't want less than like 4 jars at any one time, so you don't want to like put this in by itself. So we're going to let it warm back up. We're going to take this top off here. We're going to super clean the rim, and then actually I don't want to do that. I'm going to use a whole brand new jar on this. move it to a new jar and reseal it, and we'll check this jar out later. The other important thing is actually sterilizing equipment also. So here we have the funnel, nice and purified or sanitized. And then a secondary funnel. We just like having several options. So in case one gets contaminated, since we're doing several different packings today. And then of course this is going to be it's a combination measurer and a pokey stick to getting air bubbles out. Okay, so this is the failed jar. We're going to transfer it to this newly sanitized jar. Remove everything that was in this jar. Of course, we don't want it too dense, so make sure you break it up. And the reason why it has been less than 24 hours since we actually tried to raw pack this, so it's still safe to repack. Of course, you can't redo a raw pack because, well, it's not raw anymore. So we have to redo this as a hot pack. So the rules on that is we have to fill up the headspace up to 1 inch. Okay, now we just put this in here. Okay, so now what we got here is the turkey in here. Looks like it's all nice broken up. So basically we're going to move this up to a 1 inch mark. So we have some hot water over here already going. And we're going to fill this up to the 1 inch. Then another thing I love about bell jars is the bottom rim is a 1 inch marker. So we are at 1 inch. Okay, so now so now that we have the 1 inch headspace and the turkey in, it's looking pretty good. The other thing on this one is you have to ensure the 1 inch headspace. So you want to get rid of air bubbles. So the only thing we do here is we just take the pokey that's been sterilized and we push it, we go around on this thing, make sure the air bubbles all come up to the surface. So what we have is nice loose pack. So, and 1 inch headspace is maintained. I'm going to call this good and seal the top of it. So we got like 4 to 5 pounds in here. So that's going to do like 4 to 5 jars. And then as soon as this is all cooked up, we'll show you how to hot pack. Okay, so here we are, just cooking the ground beef up. This one, you don't want it like super charred or dried out. You want it like a soft cook, thoroughly cooked but not overly cooked, because you don't want a dense meat. Um, okay, and now we're up to the next stage here. We're going to take this again, this yellow tag sale. So basically, we had to use it by today. We bought it today. Really steep discount, and now it's going to be preserved for a year inside of our canned storage facility. So basically, on this one is you just basically cook it. Okay, and now we're up to the next stage here. We're going to take this again, this yellow tag sale. So basically, we had to use it by today. We bought it today. Really steep discount, and now it's going to be preserved for a year inside of our canned storage facility. So basically, on this one is you just basically cook it. So, keep it going. I just stopped this one and start over again. Okay, here I am. I'm breaking all the big chunks up, making it not really nice and small, but make sure there's not any huge chunks. Ground beef, when it's done, makes it dense. Right now, dense meat is not approved for canning. So you just break it up nice and small so the water can get in between everything and everything cooks fine. Okay, so on all this canning, again, you don't rely on memory. So what I've got here is I've got the University of Georgia, the National Canning site that was mentioned earlier, and I'm looking at ground beef, and then I'm looking at the altitude we are. The altitude, we're in the second range, so that's 12 pounds of pressure, and it's going to be 75 minutes for the hot pack. There is no raw pack for ground beef, ever. That is not safe, do not do it. Cook ground beef, hot pack only. That's gonna be 75 minutes. We're gonna do it for 90 minutes because we're gonna also be doing this hot pack here, which is a hot pack turkey. This is a quart-sized jar, and that is a 90-minute one. The extra 15 minutes is not gonna hurt these quart-sized ones. So we're going to do a 90-minute, but only 75 minutes is necessary. And also what it says like here, it gives you the headspace and everything else you need. It's going to be a 1-inch headspace, 12 pounds of pressure. We're going to have it at 15. So that's it. Okay, now we are at the point where we have some hot water in the back to fill up the jars. Our ground beef is done. We have the sterilized jars. We're ready to hot pack. I'm going to turn off the heat up here, and I'm going to start filling up these jars. So we have our sterilized ladle, non-metal, and I'm gonna, as you can see, we have nice chunks, and nothing's too big. And I'm just gonna start putting them in the jar. By the way, don't worry if it's, I mean, you don't want to fill the whole thing up with fat, but a little fat adds flavor, and it's not going to hurt the canning process. So right now I'm just putting in the meat fairly loosely, just getting some meat in there, and then I'll start leveling them out. And plus, besides having the cheap meat for any kind of emergencies, all this stuff is already cooked, really easy to make meals with. You just open the jar, pop it in there. A lot cheaper than the pre-canned meat. And of course, the other great thing about canning your own stuff is you know everything that went into it. Like I know that all the stuff that I have in my pantry is all natural ingredients. Don't have to worry about any kind of weird stuff that's put into it. And we have a little bit extra, not enough to even make a small jar, our smallest jar. So we're just going to save that over here for just something that we mix with eggs or something for breakfast. So what we made out of here is 5 jars. And now what we're going to do is finish the hot pack. So we have the hot water in the back, so I need my ladle. Let me grab a different ladle since I just contaminated that one. Quickly put in the hot water. So now what we're going to do is fill all of these to a 1-inch headspace. And again, ball jars are marked, so 1-inch headspace. Extremely easy. Of course, you're using hot water. You could also use beef broth, or if you want a different kind of broth, but water works just fine. We use these all as ingredients, so we just usually dump them in flavor then. At this point, you can put a teaspoon of salt in. Salt does not affect the canning process on this. It's not necessary, or not necessary to either put it in or leave it out. So now we have 1-inch headspace on, I made a little more on that one. So we have 1-inch headspace on all of it. Now we take our pokey, and we're gonna just pokey this all to make sure air bubbles come out. And we still have the 1-inch headspace. Okay, and I touch the side of that jar, so I have to make sure that one gets extra cleaning. Okay, at this point we're going to be cleaning the jar lids. We use vinegar. Vinegar evaporates fast and it gets like the stuff off. So I do a double swipe, so the first swipe I do is just around the edges. And you kind of rotate your finger around so you don't use the same dirty spot. Okay, and then you flip it around to the clean side and do it all again. And that ensures everything is nice and actually I'm going to even do this one again, the one I spilled some of the meat on, just to be doubly sure. Okay, jar should be clean. Okay, this is the one that failed last time on the hot pack. Going to make sure that there's nothing wrong with this jar, so I'm going to really feel this one, and it looks pretty good. So now we're going to start putting the lids on. So outside of here, grab a lid. So we have a lid, just put it on top. Make sure you do not press on the center button. Yes, these are extremely hot. Okay, we got all the lids on. Now we're going to put the rings on. We now need to get a small other one. So, okay, so now we're putting this lid onto the one we have repacked. Okay, I did click it, but it clicked back up, so it's fine. And now I'm going to put on the lids. Finger tight, don't over tighten them. And again, all of these jars are hot, so because they were filled with boiling meat and then filled with boiling water. So that's why they call it hot pack. Okay, so everything is on there. So now we're going to move these jars to the water. Yeah, this is a real kitchen, not one of those demo studio ones, so everything's like it is. So I'm going to place these around the outside. Okay, I'm gonna just take a quick look, make sure no jars are touching each other. Water level's a little higher than I would normally like, but it's all below the jar, so it's fine. And we're definitely not gonna run out of water with that much water in it. So we're gonna do our quick safety checks to our lid. We have a ring. This goes up and down. Plug is in. This is secure. So our lid is good. We're all set to go. If you want to know more about the safety checks and why, that's on a previous video. We have it on here and it's just going to start heating up. This has been going for like 10 minutes. It's already sealed on pressure. All the air has gone out. It has been a regular stream for 10 minutes. So we're going to put the regulator on it right now. And at this point, we have the seal. No steam's coming out anywhere, so all the equipment's good. We're going to wait for this to get up to over 12 pounds of pressure, and then we're going to start the 90-minute timer. Okay, well, we're up to pressure right now. It's been 90 minutes, so this is done. So now I'm going to move it off the heat. I'm using a lot of the stove, so this we'll just have to do right here. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check on the broth. This has been going for like an hour now. Okay, well, we're up to pressure right now. It's been 90 minutes, so this is done. So now I'm going to move it off the heat. Okay, well, here we are on the end parts of this. Our little pressure just went down. It has been at 0. So now we take the regulator off and we let it vent a little bit for a couple minutes, and then we open it up and take the jars out. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see what happened here. It's been venting for 10 minutes, so it should be safe. I'm going to unlock the pressure canner. Again, everything seems good. I'm going to pick this thing up away from me so the steam does not hit, because that steam is hot. Place it out of the way and basically take a look at what we got. Let's take a look at the recan first. Look at that bubbling. That's going to seal. This is one of the ground beef, good bubbling. That is going to seal. Another good bubbling. So far we're batting 1,000. So they're already popping. Good bubbling on this one. This one's already Oh wow, that was bubbling a lot. That one has a good vacuum on it. This one looks like it's already popped. And yep, that is why. That is a perfect vacuum on it. That is like bubbling like crazy. And see if you can get a little closer on that. That's awesome. So that's 100% success. These will all seal. Calling it good. Happy canning.